Morning, good afternoon. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is a webinar that is here to appreciate every leader here. It is Unlocking Your Infinite Growth Potential leadership webinar. And for all those that have joined, could you please put in the chat where you're joining us from quickly, please? And congrats, by the way, for ending the year strongly. For you to be here, you're one of the successful people, on earth, trying to ensure that you finish the year strong, ensuring that you don't leave the year without being equipped enough for the next level in your life, your leadership life, growing yourself day by day. So if you would please quickly type in the chat where you're joining from, that would be highly appreciated. Will give us about just a minute for us to type in the chat where we are joining from. Oh, I can see from Grenada. Welcome. Thank you for joining. That is beautiful. Any other person where you're joining from? By the way, I'm joining from Maryland. I stay in Howard County, Maryland. So I'm happy to have people here. Any other person? Buford GA, fantastic. That's Dr. Labisi. Thank you. That's fantastic. Thank you. Awesome. Yes, we see more people joining. So thank you. Again, yes, Aberdeen, Scotland. Fantastic. Oh my God, this is a global reach. Thank you, Miss Tomilola, for putting that in. We can see that people are here to be impacted, to be strengthened, to be empowered in their mind. Without much ado, I'd like to introduce our facilitator for today. Um, Many of us already know Dr. Michael Koku, but I will do the honors of introducing again. So Dr. Michael Koku is a physician and John Maxwell leadership team speaker. He's a coach, he's a trainer, and independent executive director, well known for his ability to encapsulate complex ideas and present them in concise, compelling fashion that just helps people to understand those complexity. It helps leaders to lead more effectively so they can improve their lives personally and professionally. He's the author of 6 books, including The 4 Keys for Effective Leadership. He also helps people all around the world and organizations to lead effectively and so that they can improve their lives personally and professionally. He has trained professionals in different fields like education, healthcare, businesses, media, nonprofit, and more than 3 continents, both in person and virtually, with outstanding results. And I'm a testimonial to that. Dr. Michael is known for taking complex ideas and making them simple and sticky so your team can learn, retain, and apply. And what more can we ask about than that? Dr. Michael is also the principal envoy of Royal Envoys Incorporated, a Green Pastor Church mandated to raise extraordinary envoys. He's the host of LAMP, that's Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast, the chief visionary of Expanser Manifold Concept LLC, that's a leadership, personal growth, and executive coaching enterprise, and the chief visionary officer of the LAMP Global Community, a global leadership community and a conducive growth environment committed to attracting, developing, and multiplying leaders. And that's why we're all here, isn't it? We share a common vision, a common mission, common values to actually attract, develop, and multiply leaders. So welcome, everybody. And join me to welcome Dr. Michael Koku. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Dr. Ayo, I want really appreciate you. And thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm so excited. I mean, it's so much joy and really appreciation. I want to really appreciate everyone here. We want to respect your time, especially those of you that show up on time. It's going to be recorded, so people that are late, they have the privilege of the recording. So I want to say thank you and for really believing in yourself so much to invest in yourself in this unusual end of the year. I was not really thinking about this. My mind and heart is always full to add value to leaders that we multiply value to others. And that's why we're having this Unlock Your Infinite Growth Potential Leadership webinar. I believe you all have your pen and paper ready. Oh, I believe you. How many of you have your pen and paper ready? I want you to put it in the chat. I want to be sure that you are ready. You are really ready, 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 ready. I'm talking about ready. And if you are ready, if you have your pen and paper, I want you to write ready. Type the word ready. I want to see that readiness in you, that willingness. I want to see your hunger level. So I want you to do something more. I want you to score yourself, your hunger level for this webinar on a scale of 0 to 10. What is it? I want you to put a score on your hunger. Someone said 10 on 10. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Because there's something about audience, and influences utterance. Audience influences utterance. And I believe that there's some people that I spend time with, they don't really get they don't get things from me. There's some people that I spend time with, they pull things from me, even things that I'm not prepared for. So in honor and respect of your time, I've really prepared this specially for you. And so I want to encourage you, and we are going to really have a great time. You will see that this is the best thing you can do with your time for now. Yeah. So I have prepared the slide for you, and thank you, Dr. Ayo, for that introduction. Dr. Ayo is such a great and amazing leader, someone I really respect. She is the founder of the ACE Parenting. She's really awesome, doing great exploit. I respect people that are doing something, because some other people, they are doing nothing. So let me go ahead and start sharing with you. Like I said, the slide that I've really prepared is going to be great, is going to be awesome, really, really, really awesome as we get into this nitty-gritty of today's. Now, what is before us today? We are looking at Unlock Your IGP. Your IGP actually means infinite growth potential. Infinite growth potential. And I want you to know that when we come to the point of ownership, you see, the problem I want you to see is there are so many people that are believers of their dream, but they are not owners of their dream. I learned this from Dr. John Ma as well. It's not enough to believe in our dream. We have to take ownership of our dream. You see, you need to graduate from a believer to an owner. Why? What is the gap? What is the difference? You see, if you believe in your dream, you are not really ready to fulfill it. Believe is not enough. So I want to challenge you today to graduate from belief to ownership. And how do you do that? When you see the difference between believing in your dream and owning your dream is commitment. Commitment makes the difference. There's no time I will have shared 4 different type of people on earth based on commitment. That's another teaching. I mean, if you come to my mastermind training, which I'm going to give you opportunity to attend, I will share all of that. But today I want to go straight. This is a new content that I just create for you. So you can unlock your IGP, your infinite growth potential, if you are not a owner. Now, let me give you an illustration. Many of us, we have houses. Okay, let's say you are renting. Okay, whatever it is, you have a room to yourself and you have a key to yourself. Now, what makes you qualify to open the door to your room is because you have the key. That's what makes you an owner. The same thing to your car. Nobody can just walk up to your car and open the door to your car. That person will be counted a robber and a thief because he doesn't own the car. That's why there's something called title. Title is what gives, is the evidence of your ownership. Even if somebody steals your car, they can't sell it legally without a title. And that's what I want you to get today. I want to become an owner. Don't be a believer of your dream. It's good to have a dream. Having a dream is the start. Believing in the dream is the second step, but you have to graduate to owning your dream. You see, when you own your dream, you can do anything for that dream. You are ready to invest in yourself, and you won't even think about the cost. Now, talking about the cost, there are two kinds of cost I want you to start thinking about now. The first cost is this. This is the way the owners of dreams think. They think about, what will it cost me if I don't invest in my dream? Believers of dream, this is how they think. Oh, this cost is too much. Maybe they see a conference they were supposed to attend. Oh, when they look at the cost. That's why I don't use the word cost. I use the word investment. Owners of dream use the word investment because they know that every investment to their dream is for their advancement. That's what owners of dream does. But believers of dream, they are always wary about the cost. When they look at the cost, oh, this is too expensive. Oh, I don't think I can afford it. You see? But believers of dream, instead of thinking that, can I afford it? They think, how can I afford it? You see, you need to put how in front of can I to become the owner of your dream. Instead of saying, can I afford this? Ask yourself a question. How can I afford it? Whenever you put the word how first, you change the whole equation. So I'm giving you the real background of unlocking your infinite, growth potential. Now, your growth potential, the word infinite means it is infinite. So there's no finish line. So potential is something that you have not done, that you are capable of doing. When you hear the word potential, it's an untapped power, unused power, something that you have that you are yet to use. So today, we'll be looking at how do you unlock your potential? Because when you unlock your infinite growth potential, you will become the best version of you. And this is what it's all about, becoming the best version of you. Listen, your current, I want you to say this to yourself and write it down, that your current position is tired of you. Your current position is tired of you. You just don't know yet. As a person of faith, there's a scripture I like in Micah 2:10. It said, this is not your rest. You see, whatever you have done this year is not your best. For 20 years, I didn't write a book. I wrote my first book in the year 2000 when I was in medical school. It's called Understanding Medical School. My second book, I wrote it in the year 2003 when I was still in medical school. It's called Understanding Your Gift. But for 20 years, I never wrote one book. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you what really helped me to go from 20 years without writing a book to now I've written 5 books this year already published. I'm working on the number 6 right now. In fact, I'm working on 5 more books right now. And I'll show you the key, because this is what will help you to unlock your infinite growth potential and become the best version of yourself. So the key word we'll be really focusing right today is growth. So the question is, when it comes to growth, how far can you grow? How far? Listen, the only limit to your growth is you, the person in the mirror. You remember Michael Jackson said, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Yeah. It's the woman in the mirror. It's the man in the mirror. The only person responsible for where you are. Now, let me share you something with you. Where you are today is a product of what you did yesterday. If you want to go to another level, you have to do something new today. If you are not ready to do anything new today, don't expect to go to another level tomorrow. This is how life works. So your present condition is a product of your past action. So therefore, your present action, like today, you signed up for this webinar, you showed up for this webinar, your present action that you're going to take today, that you are taking right now, is going to be the predictor of your future. Now, when we talk about this kind of growth, we talk about it's an infinite growth, developing your potential. That's the good news. There's no finish line. I learned this from my mentor, Dr. John Maswell. He always said there's no finish line. Yesterday, I was reading Dolly Parton, one of the great country music star. And Dolly Parton, she's at 77. And they asked her, Dolly, when are you going to retire? He said, I'm not thinking about retirement. I'm going to die on the stage or working in the studio. I mean, she wasn't thinking about retirement. Of recent, during this last month, she had an event with the Dallas Cowboy in Texas. He sang, there's a lot of controversy the way she dressed. She was dressing like one of the cheerleaders. They said, how can a grandma be dressing like a little kid? There was a lot of controversy about. I don't want to get into that controversy, but this is what I want to get into. Dolly Parton was still relevant. A lot of viewership, even people that didn't watch her live, they went to watch her. And that's the key. Whenever you continue to know the key to unlock your potential, you're going to stay relevant. So that's why we're here today. I want to show you, how can you stay relevant? How can you stay relevant? And there's a way to know this, and there's a way to do this. Now, something to think about. Let's start with this. Jim Rohn is one of my great mentors, and it's a man that I've learned a lot from. Jim Rohn, I've shared so many things, and this is one of the things that I really shared that I want to start this conversation with. And I want you to just pause and think. You see, a lot of people, they just do stuff. They don't pause and think. There are 4 ways that we learn. Let me give it to you. There are 4 ways that we all learn. The first way that we learn is doing work that stretches us, work that challenges us. The second way that we learn is through practice. When we practice something we already learned, when we practice in it, practice is a high form of learning. The third way that we learn is through having creative conversations. Why? Conversations are lubrication of communication. You see, when you have creative conversations, you produce new ideas, concepts, and insights. And that's the beauty of having creative conversations. That's why you have to choose your company. You've heard about it. They said great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss people, and small minds discuss events. So what do you share? What do you discuss when you hang out with your friends? What do you talk about? When you start talking about ideas, those are great minds. You are having creative conversation. Now, the last way that we learn is through time of reflection, because it takes reflection to turn experience into wisdom, into insight. Now, look at what Jim Rohn said. He said, every life form seems to strive to its maximum, except human beings. I want you to know this. Every life forms means every living thing, plant, and animal. So every life forms seems to strive to its maximum, except human beings. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. Human beings, on the other hand, have been given, I want you to know this really changed my life, the dignity of choice. Human being has been given the dignity of choice. You can choose to be all, or you can choose to be less. Why not stretch up to the full measure of the challenge and see what all you can do? This is why I tell you that there are 4 ways that we learn. The first one I talks about work that stretches us. The word work, the root word, is means to produce, to become. And I want to tell you, you have unusually infinite potential. Listen, Thank God for what you've done. If you are here, I mean, whatever you have accomplished, listen, it's no longer your potential. A tree can grow as long as all the climatic situation is in place. But human being, we are the only one that determines our growth. We are the only one that determines how far we can go. No one limits you. No one can place a limit on you. The only limit that you have is the one that you have placed on yourself. Now, think of it, no matter where you live around the world, there's always a speed limit, a city speed limit, just to keep people safe. When you get to the highway, the speed limit is being increased. Some, I live in America here, it's like we use miles per hour. So it's like 70 miles per hour. Some are even 75. I mean, I like to speed, on especially on the highway, but I speed with responsibility. But one thing I like to say is there's a place called Autobahn in Germany. At that place, there's no restriction. So you can speed at your own risk. There's no cops that's going to give you any ticket. You are your own limit. Dr. Miles Monroe said one day he went to the Autobahn and he was speeding. He was really having fun. And I mean, he has never speed so fast like that before. And at a point, and the friend said, "Why did you slow down? You can go as far as you can." It's like, wow, this is really good. This is who you are. Don't allow the people around you to limit you. I want you to know that you have the dignity of choice. It's your choice. If you choose not to grow, it's your choice. We are not trees. We are not animals. We have been given dignity of choice. That means we can choose our growth. That's why unlocking your ultimate potential, listen, is not a probability. It is a possibility. I've come to tell you today, listen, this is a possibility. This is a possibility because we all have untapped power, unused power. This is what potential is all about. Now, what is the real competition? Because we live in a world of competition. We like to compete. And, and the thing is this, if we don't know what the real competition is, we will be competing against the wrong people, the wrong person. So the question is, what is the real competition? Now, Geoffrey Giberino is an American former competition swimmer, an Olympic gold medalist, and former world record holder. He was a member of 2 national championship college teams and a 4-time college national champion in relay events. Look at what he said. Geoffrey Giberino said, the real contest is always between what you have done and what you are capable of doing. That's the real contest. That means what you have done versus what you are capable of. I want to ask you a question right now. I want to think for 1 minute. I want to give you a minute to think, like Juliet Font challenges in her book, A Minute to Think. What have you done this year? Today is December 30. What have you done this year that you are so really excited about? I want you to write it down. Just write it down. Just put it down. I want to write. I want you to take a pen and paper and draw a line. I want to have 2 columns. I want you to put what you have done on the left side of the column, and the second column, what you are capable of. Listen, as I'm telling you, I'm figuring out my own too. You know mine? Okay. Now, I want to now write, what are you capable of doing that you didn't do yet this year? What are you capable of doing that you didn't do yet? Now, put that one on the right column. And if you feel like sharing, please kindly share with us, put it in the chat so that other people can learn from you. Now, can you see the gap? Now, let me tell you one of mine. I'm capable of writing 10 books this year. That's my potential. What I'm capable of. But do you know what? I've only done 5 books so far. I'm working on the 6th book. I'm on chapter 3 right now. I mean, why is this so important? You can apply the same thing to every area of your life. This is what keeps you humble. When I tell people I'm doing 10 books this year, some people say, well, they have not even done 1 book. You're talking about 10. Listen, the real competition is not between me and anyone. The real contest is always between what you have done and what you are capable of doing. When you get to this point, something begins to happen in your inside. Please, stop comparing yourself with others. As a person of faith, the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 10:12, it said that those that compare with themselves are not wise. It's not wise. It's not wisdom to compare yourself with somebody else. No. But it is wisdom to compare what you've done to what you are capable of. I mean, this is what we call real self-examination. Real self-examination. And the same way, this is the second homework I want to give you. I want us to measure. Let's say we have an equipment to measure your potential reach. So I want to gauge your potential this year. On a scale of 0 to 100, where do you think you are? The potential that you have, what do you think you have accomplished this year? Based on the picture I'm showing you, is it low? Is it moderate or high? Listen, I'll tell you, I'm not really high, even though I've done 5 books this year. The LAM Global Community that I'm privileged to be the Chief Visionary Officer, the first year, we had 2 global conferences. One of the conferences, we have like 497 registration of women all around the world, the Women in Leadership. We just had one 2 weeks ago for the Parenting Leadership Conference. We are like 334 registration. But listen, I'm far from high because I know what I'm capable of doing is much more than that. Listen, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm expressing gratitude for all that. But the truth I'm telling myself is this. I am yet to reach the 100% of the potential. Listen, whenever you are tough with yourself, life will be easy on you. But whenever you are easy on yourself, life will be tough on you. So I want to encourage you, be tough on yourself. Listen, every day I have a plan. I have a game plan every day. There are things on my to-do list, if I call it must-do list. And every day I score myself. Anything I couldn't do, what I was unable to do because of time, I score myself the following morning. I put 0 on it. The more 0 I have, the more I begin to do some self-talk. Because self-examination is the key for life transformation. Self-examination is the key for life transformation. Why? When you examine yourself, that is an evaluation. And I've learned this from John Maxwell, that experience is not the best teacher. But guess what? Another thought leader in the Maxwell leadership, Dr. Tim Elmore, he said, experience is only the best teacher when you add assessment. And that assessment means evaluation. So that means evaluated experience is the best teacher. Experience without evaluation will never be the best teacher. So I want to evaluate, even as we come to this end of the year, I want to give you the 3 Kickstarter to reflection, the reflection Kickstarter kit. This is the way I want you to evaluate your performance so far this year. I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what went right this year? What went right? Begin to examine every area of your life. You can do this, on your family unit, on your finance unit, on your work. Take this to any area of your life. Just ask yourself, what went right this year? Be honest with yourself. Don't pat yourself in the back. That's why it's very hard to pat yourself in the back, because God did not want you to pat yourself on the back. Somebody else can pat you on the back, but patting yourself now, I want you to try this. Try patting yourself on the back. Is it easy? It's hard. It's tough. It's stretching because you are not supposed to. You are not supposed to. Because the whole point is this. The first thing is, what went right? The second question is, what went wrong? And the third question you want to ask yourself is, what can I do differently? Listen, these three questions is going to change your life. What went right this year? What went wrong? And what can I do differently? Now, those things you're going to do differently, start paying attention to that. Now, let me show you this. We're talking about unlocking your growth, your infinite growth potential. So let me show you how to really unlock your infinite growth potential. To best really explain this to you, I like using pictures because pictures are very powerful. And mind you, if you have your question and answer, please put it in the chat. We're going to have a question and answer section today. So let's see the picture of a fish in the tank, a shark in the fish tank. Many of us, we are like a shark in the fish tank. A shark in the fish tank will grow 8 inches. Watch this. But in the ocean, which is meant to be the right conducive environment, it will grow more than 8 feet. I mean, listen, no matter which country that you live, you can easily convert 8 inches and compare it to feet. The difference is clear. That means when you put the same shark in the right environment, it's going to grow 8 feet. So a shark will never outgrow its environment. The same is true about you. That means if you hang around small-minded people, I told you, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds, discuss events. Small mind discuss people. All they talk about all day is people. All they do they gossip about people. Oh, don't you see that person? Don't you see the dress that she wears? What's your business with that? What's your business? Did you lose your own dress? If you hang around small-minded people that talks about people, you will be like the shark in the fish tank. You are filled with mad potential, but this can be short-charged by its environment. Now watch this. The only difference is the shark had no choice in choosing his environment, and you do. That's it. Because you have been given a dignity of choice. A shark can remain stuck in that environment until somebody take that shark out and take it to the ocean for the shark to grow to it. So that's why to unlock your growth potential, number one, you need to identify the right growth environment. You see, we all have our potential for growth is like a seed. A seed requires the right. I want to talk about the environment. Environment is not just a place. We mean people, the right people. One of the books I wrote this year is called The Beautiful People. And it's on Amazon. You can check out Dr. Michael Koku, The Beautiful People. I mean, it's one of the books that I'm really passionate about because many people are victims of their environment. So let me show you, according to John Maxwell, what a growth environment looks like. Because see, I can talk about this, but I want to make it so plain to you so that you will never be confused about it. This is what changed my life. I realized 3.5 years ago, I identify a growth environment. And that's why I joined the Maswell Leadership. It has changed my life. So this is what it looks like. So let's look at the 10 characteristics of a growth environment. Number one, a growth environment is a place where others are ahead of you. Listen, if you are the head of the class where you are presently, you are in the wrong class. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong in you being a CEO of your company, being the CVO of your company. I'm blessed and I'm privileged to work with 16 strong leaders and to be the chief visionary officer of the LAM Global Community, which is the parent organization of WIL, Women in Leadership League, and also the parent organization of PR, Parent Empowered Academy for Right Leadership, and also the parent organization of YES. And YES is the Youth Empowerment Society, and also the parent organization of TBN, the Berean Network. But listen, I am still a part of the Maswell Leadership. I was privileged this week, and watch out for my podcast that'll be out next Tuesday, talking about January 2nd. I had a lady on my podcast. Her name is Dr. Candy Wyndham. She said for the past 11 months, she has made $1 million in her business. Wow, these are the kind of friends I'm hanging out. I tell you, you have to be selective. This week, this Tuesday, the person that I had on my podcast was Miss Tasha McDonald. She'll be speaking for the Will Made for More conference next year, March 2nd, 2024. She has made more than $800,000 as a speaker, coach, and trainer since she joined the Maswell Leadership in 2019. Those are the kind of friends I want to hang out with. You see what I'm talking about? I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I just mentioned someone that made $1 million within 11 months and someone that has made $800,000 within 4 years of joining the Maswell Leadership. You see what a growth environment looks like? A place where others are ahead of you. I tell you, a place where others are ahead of you. Number two, characteristics of a growth environment. You are continually being challenged. I'm going to still talk about that and how to make that practical. I'll be sharing very soon on 4 life zones. 4 life zones. I'll show you how to do that. A place where you are continually being challenged. Now, the question I want to ask you, that number one is, where you are at the moment, are others ahead of you, or you are the head of the class where you are at the moment? Number two, are you continually being challenged where you are at the moment? You know, remember I told you one of the ways that we learn is through work that challenges us. There was a time in my life I was working for an organization. I won't mention the organization. I was there for 10 years. At a point, I knew that I'm no longer being challenged. The only position that could challenge me, they offered it to me, and I declined. Until one day, I just left the company. And they just said, I didn't even know that would be my last day. They said, it's time for me to go. At that time, I've already identified another growth environment, which I have joined a month before. So it was a smooth transition for me. There was nothing dramatic. So, number 3, characteristics of a growth environment. Focus is on forward progress, not looking in the rear view mirror. That's the focus. This is how you will know. I'm giving you this picture because this day is crucial, because we're about to start 2024. You need to identify a growth. This is why we created the LAM Global Community. This is it. This is it. This shark in the fish tank, this is what led to the creation of the LAM Global Community. This is it. This is why we did it. To create a growth environment, because people will come to my training. I was asking questions. They will get transformed. They will see a lot of results. For the I used to do 6 weeks, but now I do 4 or 5 weeks. So I was concerned. You see, there's a difference between worry and concern. A worried person only focused on problems, but a concerned person focused on solution to the problems. So I became concerned that how can I help people so that they won't go back to their normal life? Because it's not enough for you to identify a growth environment. You have to remain in it. Remember, the shark in the fish tank, even if they take that shark and put it one day in the ocean, it will grow 8 feet. It has to remain permanently, because the law of environment says growth only thrives in a conducive environment. So it's not enough to identify a growth environment. You have to remain there. That's what I did when I remained in the Maswell leadership. I continue to grow. I'm still growing. I grow every day. Right now, I'm reading 4 books that I read every day. I wasn't like that before until I got to the growth environment. So now, number 4, characteristics of a growth environment. The atmosphere is affirming and supportive. Wow, this is deep. James Clear, the author of The Atomic Habits, said, one of the ways to change your life, to create a habit that will last you, is when you join a tribe, you join a community where they support that value that you want. Let's say you want you want to grow, you want to improve your leadership. I mean, you identify an environment like Lamb Global Community where we create where we create opportunity for growth, through different things that we do all through the year. So the atmosphere is affirming or supportive. So the question I want to ask you is, the current environment in which you are now, is it affirming? Is it supportive? You need to know that, because this is very important. Number 5, you are pushed out of your comfort zone. Wow, I'm still going to talk about this. Because there is no growth that happens in the comfort zone. When the shark was in the fish tank, that was the comfort zone. But right now, you are pushed. Don't forget, as long as the shark is in the fish tank, the shark is being fed. The shark is being fed. The shark cannot eat what it likes. But the shark in the ocean, he has to go and get his own food. Now, I know we all have heard about the word zoo. Listen, the word zoo, I find that it was a kind word. The real definition for zoo is animals in captivity. But they just use the word zoo to make it juicy. Have you ever gone to a zoo before and you look at a lion? The lion is not happy. Why? The lion is not in his natural environment where he's king. He doesn't determine what he eats. They bring the food to him. But the lion likes to be in an environment where he's going to go get the food by himself. That, oh, today I'm not eating deer. I want to eat hippopotamus. The lion just go and get it. As long as he can hunt. So you are being pushed out of your comfort zone. Number 6, where you wake up excited and love what you do. Wow, is that not beautiful? Now, for you to succeed in life, you need to be aware of 3 things. You need to know what you're doing. You need to believe in what you are doing. And you need to know what you're doing. You need to love what you're doing. And you need to believe in what you're doing. Those 3 things are key to success in life. Know what you're doing, believe in what you're doing, and love what you're doing. So in this growth environment, when you wake up excited and love what you do, that's the right growth environment. Number 7, failure is not your enemy, it is your friend. Wow. And it's such a great thing. There's a book on my desk now called Chasing Failures by Ryan Leake. I'll be hosting an event, in January 13, called Live to Lead. Ryan Leake is one of the speakers, and Ryan Leake talks about 6 lessons from failure. He talks about 6 leadership lessons from failure. Something you need to get. Yeah, number 8, where others are learning and growing. See, there's something about when you are in the environment that others are learning and growing, it rubs on you. Even if you don't want to learn and grow, it's contagious. When you join an environment, others are learning and growing. For instance, when one of my colleagues, Ms. Tasha McDonald, the one on the podcast, on the Leadership Advancement Mentorship podcast this week, she posted something 2 days ago on Facebook. about 2 books that she's reading. And she was challenging other people to share the books that they are reading in this season. Guess what? Because I'm reading 4 books, I got excited, you know. I just went on, shared the 4 books I'm reading, and I posted. Now, it's not about showing off. It's all about challenging one another. Because we are others are learning and growing. You need to be in that kind of environment. Number 9, where people desire to change. Listen, many people, they don't desire to change. Now, let me tell you 3 different attitudes, the way people respond to change. And this is what determines who people are. Are you ready to get it down? 3 ways people respond to change. Now, there are 3 ways people respond to change. And I've taught this several times that has changed many people's life. Now, to the timid, change is frightening. If you're a timid person, if you're a fearful person, change is going to frighten you. So to the timid, change is frightening. To the comfortable, change is threatening. To the comfortable, someone that loves comfort, change is threatening. It's a threat. It threatens you. It becomes a threat. But watch this, the last one. To the confident, change is strengthening. It's strengthening and it gives them strength. So these are the 3 ways that we all respond to change. Now, I want to put in the chat. Have you figured out where you stand? Are you the timid that is frightened by change? That anytime you hear any change coming, you are afraid? That makes you the timid. Are you the comfortable that you don't like change? You like to be in the comfort zone. A comfort zone is where you do what you've always done. So, to the comfortable, change is threatening. It's a threat. It threatens them. They don't like change. They don't like change. They complain when change comes. But watch this. To the confident, change is strengthening. It strengthens them. They see change as an opportunity. They see change as an opportunity. And that's why in Chinese, the word crisis is interpreted as danger and opportunities. So it depends on what area do you want to focus on. So the last 10 characteristics of a growth environment is growth is modeled and expected. I want you to note that word, expectation. Growth is modeled and expected. So when you are in a growth environment, you will see growth like this. It's visually modeled. You will see people that are growing. They're not just talking about growth. You can see it in their life. You can see growth, real transformation. You will see so many role models. That's what I get by being part of the Maswell leadership. In fact, I used to go for the International Maswell Conference once a year, every August in Orlando. And I make a choice. Last time I went this August, I said, I don't want to go once a year again. I want to go every 6 months, because I noticed that every time I go, there's a new level for me. I just shift to the new level. And I make up my choice that I'm going to go every 6 months. Guess what? I've already registered, booked my flight, booked my accommodation for March. Why? I want to be in that environment. I've done virtual, but there's nothing like being there live to sit at the foot of Papa John Maswell and learn and ask him questions. Oh, I can't wait for 1 year. 1 year is too long for me to experience that change. The same thing applies to you. That's why I want to tell you, stop looking at, oh, what will it cost me? Start telling yourself, what will it cost me if I don't invest in myself? That is the way greatness comes. You have to see, what will it cost you if you don't invest in yourself? Now, quickly. So what is the big challenge? I've shown you the first way you have to identify the growth environment. So the question now is, what is the big challenge? The big challenge is to become all that you are. The possibility of becoming. Now, the word becoming is what work is all about. You see, when it comes to work, And this applies to no matter what field you are. When it comes to work, work help you to become. So it's not what you get. It's not, listen, when it comes to work, don't look at the salary alone. Look for opportunity for growth. You need to focus on the earning and the learning. When you focus on the learning alone, you're missing out. The big challenge is to become all that you have the possibility of becoming. You cannot believe what it does to the human spirit to maximize your human potential and stretch yourself to the limit. That's why I have people that work with me one-on-one. And Dr. Ayo and Adenuga, that the lady that introduced me, one of our team leaders, she was the first person that worked with me one-on-one. And I told her one day, I said, Dr. Ayo, you have really grown. She has taken wings, she has gone world class, Now, why am I saying this? Because the thing is this, we all need someone that will work on one-on-one. Now, let me just give you this. I'm giving you a lot of nuggets today. I'm giving you a lot of treats today, Let me give you 4 things that you need to excel in any field in life. You need 4 things. If you want to excel, I learned this from one of the great leaders in my life, and I created an acronym for it. 4 things that you need to excel in every area of your life. The acronym is LAMP, L-A-M-P. So L, learning. You need learning, not just learning, in-depth learning in any area. Is it finances? Is it family? Whatever area you want to excel, you need in-depth learning. L, learning. The second thing that you need is A, applied. Applied learning. That means you need to application. You need to apply what you have learned. So it's not enough to be learning. You need to put it into application. Because application will give you your personal experience. Jim Rohn said, better than knowledge is applied knowledge. This is how somebody said. He said, whenever you learn something and you don't apply it, it's like there's a glass wall between you and the benefits you will get from the application. Have you ever been to a store before? You want to touch a ring, a golden ring, but there's a glass wall. You can't touch it. It's already closed. You will need permission for them to open the glass wall for you to feel it. That's what happened when you learn. For instance, you're learning the law today. If you didn't apply it, the benefit of the application is like a glass wall standing between you. So application is what breaks that glass for you to really take hold of it. So the big challenge, so that's first thing. You need in-depth learning. The second one, you need applied learning. You need to apply application of what you're learning. Then the M is mentorship. You need mentorship. Listen, I have mentors. I have mentors, people that are paid every year to mentor me. I have a coaching mentor. I have a speaking mentor. I have mentors in business building. That's why I'm in the Master Leadership. In fact, I just signed up for the executive program 4 months ago. Paid $2,700 to invest in myself to move to that level. That's another investment. I moved from this trainer to this consultant. That was another investment. Listen, that is what I want you to understand. There's no amount of investment that is too much in your growth. You need to move from believer to become a owner. So you need mentorship. You need mentor. I do one-on-one mentorship to people. There are many people that have done one-on-one to me. Believe me, Sally, they have experienced. One lady, she worked with me and 3 months. Within that 3 months, she published her own book. She created her own website, and she started getting clients that are paying her. Because she learned all, in fact, this lady was so phenomenal. She referred her daughter to me, but by the time she finished 3 months, she was confident enough to help her daughter. So I lose the daughter as my client because of what I taught her. I said, okay, it's all right. You know, so I'm just showing you the big challenge. So the third thing is mentorship or coaching. We all need it. The last one is P. That P, I give it an acronym, peer, P-E-E-R. So that means peer. That means people that are doing the same thing, going the same way. So I call it positive, empowering, and encouraging relationship. That means you need the same people that are going towards the same direction. You need the same people. There's some, whoever is not going in your direction is a distraction. You need the same people that you are inspiring each other. So the big challenge, according to Jim Rohn, is to become all that you have the possibility of becoming. You cannot believe what it does to the human spirit to maximize your human potential and stretch yourself to the limit. Now, you need to be like the rubber band. The rubber band is only useful when it is being stretched. And I believe, as I've been spending some time, I'm about to come into a close right now. We're going to have a Q&A. Something is happening to your mindset. This is what I do. I believe your mindset is changing. You're moving from can I to how can I? You're moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You're moving from a small mind that talks about people to great minds that talks about ideas. And this is what this webinar is meant to achieve, to shift your mindset. How many of you are having a shift mindset? I want you to put it in the chat. Please kindly put it in the chat. How many of you at the moment as I speak right now, how many of you are experiencing a mindset changing? I mean, just put it in the chat. I mean, yeah. Because the thing is this, it's not possible for you to experience a life change without a mind change. Until you change your mind, you can't change your life. Your mind is the key to change in your life. Every positive change in life begins in the mind. Your mind, therefore, is a mind. Thank you for that. Thank you for the affirmations. I know it's happening already. So now let me go to we've talked about, how to unlock your infinite growth potential. The first thing is you have to identify a right growth environment. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. You need to understand there are 4 different life zones. Yeah, I'm giving you some practical tips now. You need to understand that there are 4 different life zones. Yes, there are 4 different life zones. And you need to understand that. You need to be aware, because awareness is the first key to change. So why do I say that? Now, let's see the 4 life zones quickly, because I want to give room for time for questioning. I believe we learn a lot when we ask questions. Now, the first life zone is what we call the coasting zone. You see, the coasting zone is where you do as little as possible, where you do less than what you've always done. That's the coasting zone. A lot of people are living in the coasting zone. That means it's a zone of minimum. You are even doing less than what you have done. You're not doing more. You're not even doing the same. You're doing little. You're doing less than what you've done. Benjamin May says, the tragedy in life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. Wow, so many people like that. Someone said to live without a goal is to live like a goat. I don't mean to be insultive to anyone, but that's what a wise man says. To live without a goal is to live like a goat. I want you to be aware of this coasting zone. So when you even stop doing what you've done, when you are doing less, you are coasting. You are on the coasting zone. So the second zone is called the comfort zone. So the comfort zone is where you do what you've always done. It's just same old, nothing new. There's a lot of people like that. They just love same old. One day, when I used to work in an organization, I just met a man. I was just saying, hello, sir, how are you doing? Do you know what he told me? He said, same old, same old. There's so many people like that. There's nothing new about them. That's why I want to encourage you. Listen, and I'll show you to do this. I've identified the cure to reading apathy. If you want to cure reading, when people are challenged about reading, some people, they can read a book And I'll show you how to break that habit. And this is going to be a timely key for you to use. It's one of the things that I have for you. And just stay tuned. So the comfort zone is where you do what you've always done. So the next zone is zone number 3, the challenge zone. The challenge zone is where you attempt to do what you haven't done before. It's when you attempt to do what you haven't done before. That's the challenge zone. In this zone, you doing more. Listen, this is what changed my life. This year, I choose to live in my challenge zone. For 20 years, I was in my comfort zone. After writing books, I just stopped writing. For 20 years, I was telling myself a lie. But this year, I make up my mind to be in challenge zone. I'll tell you with all humility, this year, I've done what I have not done before in my life, and it's my best year ever. Things that make people fear that, oh, can you really do this? Listen, yes. I mean, because I choose to live. Listen, outside your comfort zone is where life happens. Real life happens. You see, the key to unlocking your potential is to live outside your comfort zone. Now, I want to give you 2 words now. You must leave, L-E-A-V-E, your comfort zone, to live, L-I-V-E, in your growth zone. The growth zone is outside of the comfort zone. It begins with the challenge zone. That's why there are 4 zones. We have the coasting zone, the comfort zone, we have the challenge zone, and we have the creative zone. So the challenge zone is when you attempt what you've always done. Now, Ellen Keller said, life is a daring adventure or nothing at all. Watch this. The creative zone, which is the last one, is where you attempt to think what you have never thought before. That is a zone of thinking. It's not a zone of doing, because thinking precedes doing. Albert Einstein said, the world as we have created, it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. That's why I created the Thinkers Island, where I share a minimum of 5 quotes. If you want to be part of the Thinkers Island, and just, I want to put in the chat box that please and add me to TIN, Thinkers Island Network. Then I will add you to the WhatsApp group. You will be part of the Thinkers Island. So if you want to be a part of the Thinkers Island, so just click, or if you'll be hearing me on YouTube, this record is going to be on YouTube. Just click add me to TIN, Thinkers Island Network. We are over more than 200 professionals all around the world, and are part of in fact, one of the books that I just wrote, on insightful quote is dedicated to the Thinkers Island. Yeah. Now, so you can see right now. So when you get out of your comfort zone, you are in your challenge zone and creative zone. So this is where real growth begins to happen. You cannot unlock your potential in your comfort zone. So the first key to unlock your potential is you need to identify a growth environment. And I've given you 10 ways so that you won't be confused about it. 10 ways to know the right growth environment. So the second key is to live out of your comfort zone. That's the second key. Now, how do you know you are living out of your comfort zone? When you start experiencing discomfort. Discomfort is required for growth. Discomfort is required for growth. So you have to live out of your comfort zone. For you to experience, so the key number 1 is identify the right growth environment. Key number 2, step out of your comfort zone. You have to step out of your comfort zone. That means when you step out of your comfort zone, you are in your challenge zone and your creative zone. Brian Tracy, author and speaker, said, move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. Ryan Leake, the author of Chasing Failure, said, leaders risk failure when they try something new. He said, when they refuse to try something new, they risk irrelevance. So, I mean, it's what I'm saying, So if you're saying, oh, as a leader, well, I don't want to fail. If I get out of my comfort zone, what if I fail? What if I fail? What do I fail? See, when you are in your comfort zone, when you are out, you risk failure. But when you don't, you risk irrelevance. You will never be relevant. That's why a lot of people, they lose relevance after some time. You didn't hear about them again because they choose to go back to their comfort zone and even to their coasting zone. Please, don't let that be you. So let me give you the third key. The third key to unlock your infinite growth potential. This is something that I developed this year that has changed many lives. You need to learn to soar like an eagle. For you to unlock your growth potential, the first thing is you have to identify a growth environment. 2, you have to step out of your comfort zone. 3, you need to learn to soar. Now, SOAR is an acronym. If you know me very well, I'm an acronym fake, and I've been rightly been accused of being a chief acronym specialist, and I'm guilty as charged. I'm guilty as charged. I'm guilty as charged. So right now, so how do you SOAR? Now, let me tell you something. Let me give you a context. Every one of us have 2 natures inside of us. We have the eagle inside of us, and also we have the hippopotamus. You see, the eagle inside of us is our best, our higher self. The hippopotamus is our lower self that want to wallow in the mud of self-pity, complain all through life. That's why you need to identify the right growth environment of eagles. Eagles are people that you don't find. They don't flock. You find them one by one. You know, when I was led to create the TLC, the Lamb Consortium, these are the leaders that work with me in the Lamb Global community. I have to locate them one by one. And they all know when they came together, I mean, this is a different gathering. It's gathering of eagles. So you need to learn to soar. Learn to soar. So what does this soar mean? Listen, I'm about to give you a key now. In fact, this key is why you came today. I mean, this whole webinar is worth $250, but you guys are getting it for free. Not because it's free, but because I want to invest in your life. I'm an human investor. I'm an human developer. Some people are estate developer. I'm an like Dr. B. I'm an human investor. I'm an human developer. So let's see the SOAR concept unveil. I want to unveil it to you. Now, this is it. How? Because we're going to the last days of the year now. The question is, one of the key that we need to watch out is habits. I want you to write this thing down. Everybody write this thing down. Discipline leads to habit. Habit will lead to consistency, and consistency will lead to growth. I want everybody to write that down. Discipline will lead to habit. That means new discipline will lead to new habits. New habit will lead to new consistency, and new consistency will lead to growth. That means if you want to experience every growth in life, it starts with discipline. John Maxwell said, self-discipline is the price tag of leadership. Every leadership that you want to be has a price tag. It's self-discipline. Self-discipline. It's no joke that I read 4 books a day. It takes a lot of self-discipline to do it consistently. In fact, during the Christmas, my wife and I, we went to spend time with a mentor. I took all my books with me. And we were with the mentor. We checked into his place 7 o'clock. We were on the dinner table. We were just talking, picking up their brains. I call it now. We were having a now time. Now means a night of wisdom. You know, I was just asking them questions. I mean, you know, picking up their brains, some things, learning from them. And we were on till 12 o'clock in the midnight. And I told them, and when we go in, they have a special suite for us where we stayed. I said, we're going to see you guys 12 noon in the following. That means there's a 12 hours interval. Part of the time is meant for rest and also personal growth and development. I took all my books with me. So by the time we're done, by 12, we were with them again. We hang out for 90 minutes before we leave back to Philadelphia, you know. Now, what I'm saying is this. This is what happened when you form a new habit. Now, listen, it used to be 21 days to form a new habit. Now it takes 63 days to form a new habit. So now what I want to share with you, this SOA concept, learning to SOA, is how to form a habit that lasts. I want to show it to you using the simple acronym SOA. You will learn well proven and easy to apply 4 practical tips on how to replace a bad habit with a better habit that will increase your leadership effectiveness and increase your productivity. So this is how it works. The first one is X. You make the habit small. That means the new habit that you want to create. Now, the thing about this, you can't do away with a bad habit without replacing it intentionally with a better one. And I'm showing you how to do that. So you have to make the new habit, make it small. Number 2, make the new habit obvious. 3, make the habit automatic. 3, make it realistic. So let me quickly explain because of time. Now, how do you make it small? This is how you make it small. So let's say you want to start a new habit of reading. Your bad habit is not reading. So you want to make it small. So you just don't tell yourself that I'm going to read 1 chapter. No, make it small. Just, okay, I want to read 2 pages or 1 page. I want to start with 1 page. That's how to make it small. Number 2, make the habit obvious. The new one, make it obvious. Now, the word obvious means make it visible. So what you want to do is, this is one of the book I'm reading. So what you want to do is that you want to put the book to somewhere you can see it. Because what we see controls what we do. There's a power of seeing something. So you want to make the book obvious. You want to put it on your bed. So that means you can see it. You know that you can't sleep without reading that 1 page that you commit to. Don't put it somewhere that you can see it. Put the book where you can see it. There's this concept called AHAB. Always have a book. So you can use that concept anywhere you're going. Always have a book with you. You might be in the store. The queue might be long. You're reading the book. AHAB concept. Always have a book. And I said, if you can have a AHAB, always have a book. You can say, always read a book. Right. But the thing is, make it obvious. Put it where you can see it. The reason why many people doesn't read their Bible is they went to hide their Bible under the table where they can see it. That's just a side story. I believe that hit someone. Now, number 3, make the habit automatic. Make the habit automatic. Now, what do you mean by that? Now, there are some things that we do every day that are automatic. For instance, we eat our lunch, breakfast, dinner. It's automatic. So what do you do? Now, what you're going to do is, since this habit is new, for it to be consistent, don't forget, discipline leads to habit leads to consistency, and consistent leads to growth. For it to be consistent with you, to be something that a daily practice, so you need to automate the habit with something that is already automatic. So this is how you do that. You need to make a statement. So you need to write this statement, say that I am going to read 1 page of, let's say you're reading this book, Built from Scratch, before I sleep. So you're going to write a statement. I am going to read 1 page of whatever book you are reading before I sleep every day. So so that is how you automate it. So what are you doing? Sleep is automatic. It's something you do every day. But that new habit is not automatic. So you are making a statement to tie it together. So that means before you sleep, you open that book and read one page and sleep. You want to say, I'm going to read 1 page before I eat my lunch. I'm going to read 1 page before I eat my breakfast. So you need to make it automatic with something that is already automatic. So the last one is make the habit realistic. So how do you do that? Now, you that have not been reading book before, don't say, oh, I'm going to read 2 books this month. That's not realistic because you've not been reading before. Why don't you say, okay, I'm going to read 1 book this month. I'm going to read one book in the month of January 2024. Yes, because you've not been reading before. Start with one book. That is what we call it realistic. So this is how to start a habit that lasts. Make it small, make the habit small, make the habit obvious, make it automatic, make it, listen, I've shared this with people. It has changed so many lives. Now, quickly, this is one of the last slides I want to show you. So the last thing I want to show you this is, and the 4 keys, I've shared the first key, to unlock your growth and to unlock your infinite growth potential. Number 1, you have to identify a growth environment. Number 2, you need to step out of your comfort zone. Leave it totally and leave. You have to leave it, L-E-A-V-E, and live in your growth zone. Your growth zone is your challenge zone and your creative zone. So the 3rd way to create a habit that lasts, you have to learn to soar. I've already showed you that. The 4th way is the twin triggers. The twin triggers. So this is what we call event and process. Event and process. Listen, I mean, some of this is a new content. I've not done this before. And this, if you know me very well, you've never had this before. I mean, but I'm giving you guys $250 gift. You all are getting this gift, and I'll put it on YouTube. I want people to get this gift because people needs to change. I believe that I'm a change agent. I'm a catalyst for change, but people have to make their choice because we all have been given dignity of choice. Now, the twin triggers are what we call event and process. Dr. John Maxwell said, people overestimate the event and underestimate the process. For instance, what we are having right now is an event. I mean, it's an event. We do events. We are at a conference, Women in Leadership. In September, we just had one parent in leadership, in 2 weeks ago. This is another event. It's one of the way. It's one of the triggers. But watch this. Events is for decision making. Events like this help us to make decisions. That is the purpose. You need to understand that. But watch this. Process is for transformation. So we need both event and process. He said a lot of people, they just want an event. They want a one day. Listen, they just want a quick fix. Event is like a quick fix. We need both. Anytime I want to work with organization, with leaders, I always recommend both. We need both. In the realm of personal development and leadership, decisions made in defining moments are akin to planting the seed. Watch this. Decision is like, event is like you plant a seed. That's good. You plant a tree. That's where it starts from. However, it is the consistent cultivation of habits, the daily discipline, and the commitments to learning that truly shape character and bring about enduring change. As Jim Clare said, he said, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. I've created an acronym for system. It means save yourself some time, energy, and money. You see, the thing I want to get is this. We go into a new year now. You say, new year, new resolution. It is being said, resolution made in the beginning of the year does not last. In less than 3 weeks, people go back to the same old stuff. So this is why you need to identify this. So I want to give you, everyone listen to me or will listen on YouTube, an opportunity. I want to present to you a process as this is a new year growth opportunities for you. You see, I'll be having a special training called Unlock Your Infinite Growth Potential Transformational Training. This is a process. It's a 4-week process that will take you to another level. It's a 4-week. We'll be looking at 5 chapters. That will be season 1. Then after that, by March, April, we'll be doing the season 2. That's another level. But this is the first level of the process. Now, During this, you will successfully learn and understand influence using the 5 levels of leadership and as a roadmap to influence others. Then you will learn about character development. I'll give you the acronym for character development. It's called CASH: courage, authenticity, self-management, and humility. We're going to go over that. Embracing good ethics, practicing self-leadership, and valuing people. Then we're going to learn about service, asking 8 questions to develop into a leader who serves others daily. In fact, I'm working on a book now on servant leadership. Then you're going to learn about vision, including 8 components when painting a vision for your people so they can experience it and watch it. You're going to learn a lot of bonus teaching. This process, this training is 90 minutes every week. 90 minutes. You'll be learning. I have so many new content that I've created. Just like some things I share with you today. You'll be getting so much fresh stuff. And the date is we starting next week. Yeah, we're not playing. New year, new you. We shooting. We're making a new decision. January 6th to Saturday, January 27, 2024. It's going to be 4 mega Saturdays. The time is for Group A. We are from 8 o'clock to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, which is 1 to 2:30 p.m. for people in UK, and 2 to 3:30 for people in Nigeria, West Africa. Then we have the second Group B, 9 to 10:30 for, which only applies for except, which the time suits people in US and Canada. You can register today and save your spot. So you can register at eventcrate.com/e/lead2024. Listen, you can't beat my service. If you've been to my training before, if you work with me before, if you know me very well. I remember one time, someone want to register. I said, is it per week? Because they knew that the value of what they are paying for the old time is like what you pay per week. Every training is value added. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. This training, if you attend this training and your life does not change, listen, it's not even possible that your life is going to be experienced. Because I've been preparing, packaging new content for this training. So don't forget, this is a process opportunity for you. Now, and I'll give you another, there are 2 ways. We have 2 intriguers. The second one is an event. So there's another event coming up. This one is coming up in 2 weeks. So this one is a 1-day event, 4 hours event. It's called Live to Lead, Leadership Development Experience. It's a half-day leadership conference and personal growth, but it's a rebroadcasting event. Now, with this one, it's going to be rebroadcast virtually via Zoom. It's already recorded, but the content is not available anywhere else. You're going to hear speakers. Dr. John Maswell, he talks about his new book coming up next year, I Wrote Leadership, Part 1 and 2. You can't miss that. Then Ryan Leake talk about 6 leadership lessons from failure. We have Kendra Scott that built a company from $500 to becoming a billionaire today. Marcus Bonningham of the Strength Fighters. Listen, it's going to be awesome. This is just one group, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US Standard Time. Then 4 to 8 p.m. UK time, 5 to 9 p.m. West African Nigerian time. And the registration link is eventcrate.com/e/live-to-lead-EMC. This, you have the twins. I've shown you the 4 keys to unlock your growth potential. You need to find a growth environment. Number 2, you need to step out your comfort zone. Number 3, you need to learn to soar. And you need to take advantage of the twin triggers. So I want to say thank you for listening. It's been a great honor to serve you all. And also, this is a time for question and answer session. And I know I took so long, but listen, I just have a heart to serve you. So let's welcome question and answer session. And if you have any question, this is the time for us to get to it. And Dr. Ayo, you still here for us? And I'm going to ping you now for question and answer session if you want to take that for us. Yeah, question and answer session. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mike. This was just beautiful. I had my book. I wrote down so many things in my book. So thank you. This
Wow,
was
you're
just
welcome.
an impactful time.
Yes,
And
it is.
everybody, we are not just here to um, make you listen. We want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. We want to be able to answer those questions that are dear to your heart, that mean so much to you. So if you please put your questions in the chat, um, that would be great. He has spoken about a lot of things that you might just want more information on, or something that made you join that you really, really, really want answers to. This is a good time. It's a one-time opportunity. So please seize it. Don't miss it. Put your there's a Q&A um tab that you can put that in. If not, you can put it in the chat. Either way, we'll see what you have to say and we can answer it. So, well, I have, okay, it's more of a comment. Thank you, Dr. B. So since I developed a growth mindset, I have habitually learned. Thanks, Dr. Koku. Thanks for that comment. It's very encouraging to know that all the things he's been doing has been impactful and changing lives. So any other questions from anybody? For me personally, I've learned one of the things, Dr. Mike, that I said you're going to share, a bonus thing is how can you improve your reading habit, in the sense that many of us take a long time to read a book, or our reading quotient is very low. And we procrastinate because it takes us a longer time to finish a book, even when we know it's valuable. How can we improve our reading skills? You mentioned one, which is commitments. Commit to reading at least a page every day in 2024 from now. But in that reading one page, how can we improve our reading skills? That's the question. Then others, please put in your questions. Oh, I see more questions in Q&A. Fantastic. So Dr. Mike, please answer those questions. But I can say one for sure that has helped me in reading, improving my reading, is number one, scanning the pages. And then rather than reading one word at a time, read three words at a time to scan it, and then you go, and then you just read through. Then you can go back and highlight the ones that resonate with you, that you want to go back to. That way you don't lose out on the important thing. So Dr. Mike, I have a question for you, which is, kindly explain more on how to break a bad habit.
Yeah, I was just answering the person, but let me take it to the main podium, and just to be
Okay.
fair on everybody.
I
And
think
yeah,
everybody can see it. Let me just copy and paste it.
okay, no, don't worry, I'll
Okay.
do it. I'll come
Okay.
out now. Like, yeah, you see, it's a like I said, you don't break a bad habit without forming a new one. So there's a principle of displacement and replacement that you need to understand. So to break a bad habit, you need to form a new one. So that's why you have to use the SOA acronym. This is how to form a habit that lasts. Now, I want to do something. If you are there, if you get home, do an experiment. When you pour water into a bottle, you experience some bubbles coming out. That means the bottle is not empty. The bottle has something, And one of the tricky questions you can ask people is that, hold the bottle and say that, is this bottle empty or is full of something? People say it's empty. It's not. It's filled with air. So, but when you pour water inside of it, you replace the air with the water. That's what a bad and a good habit is. So the SOA concept, learning to SOA, is replacing a bad habit with a good one. So when you make it small, let's say a bad habit is not reading. So you want to start. So in fact, somebody just affirmed this, Dr. Olabisi Oshikalu, that she's currently working with me one-on-one now. Yeah, I mean, she used the SOA acronym. Guess what? She's reading 4 books just like me now. She reads 4 books every day now. It works. She just affirmed it. I've shared it with many people that have used this. It works because you start small. So your bad habit is, watch this, not reading. So start small. That you want to read 1 page. Don't say 2 pages. Don't say 3 pages. Just start small. So when you start small, the next thing you want to do is you want to get to that point of now just being aware of the fact that you now make the habit obvious. Like I said, the book, you have to put it where you can see it. So you put the book where you can see it. You need to make it in such a place where when you put look at the book, it reminds you that no, I have to be read. I have to be read. I have to be read. So all the books I'm reading right now, as I speak with you now, they are before me right now. They are on my table. You know, so you have to put the book where you can see it. And the third one is you make it automatic. You need to make a statement. So if you've not been reading before, make a statement and write that I will read my 1 page before taking my lunch, because the lunch is already automatic. So you need to make that new habit by reading that book before you eat your lunch. Now, there's no time. I will have shared with you the I will do this during my during the training I'll be doing January, what I learned from James Clear about the 4 levels of habit formation. Yeah, and it's a bonus teaching I'm going to do when we get to that. There's no time for me to get into it.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. The
Yeah,
next thing is I want to just jump because it's related. The person said, after reading a book, what next? Okay. How do you forget? How do you not forget what you've read, and how do you transform it into action?
Yeah. Now, the thing about reading a book is when you read, the question is, how do you read? You know, because how you read matters. Now, there are 2 reasons for reading a book. This will change your life. Number 1, don't read a book for reading's sake. You must read a book, number 1, to solve a problem, or read in line of your passion. Now, if I ask you all now what you are learning, whatever you are reading right now is based on your passion. So the 2 wise way to read is you read to solve problems, and number 2, you read what you are passionate about. Now, and when you read, you need to ask yourself 3 questions. Use this ACT. This is how to know the next step. Use the ACT. What does it mean? As you are reading the book, A, identify what you can apply. What you can apply. C, identify what you can change about your life that you got from the book. And T, identify what you can teach others. That is the practical transformational way of reading a book. Now, watch this. There's something we call categorization and prioritization. So that means you're going to have a lot of A's. You're going to have A1, C1, T1. So as you are making those identifications, at the end of the day, put all the A's together. That's what we call categorization. Put all the C's together and put all the T's together. So this is what we call categorization. That means you have a category of application, category of change you want to make to your life, and category of teaching that you want to share with people. Now, after you have done that, you will now go what we call prioritization. In prioritization, you will put A1, A2, A3. So you will tell yourself, A1 is first week. Let's say we start in the new year. The first week of new year, I want to apply this. This is the practical step that many people didn't. See, I was talking to one of the leaders that I respect. She has made $1 million within 11 months. She was sharing something with me. He said, the problem is this. People are loaded with information, but they don't know the next steps. He said, what they need is the steps to take. And that's what I'm giving you right now. So put A1, the first week of the new year. This is what I want to put into. This is what I want to apply. This is what I want to change. So you put A1, C1, and T1 first week. Second week, A2. You see there? C2 and T2, and you follow that pattern. By the time you've done that, you have a very meaningful way of reading. You're not just reading that, oh, I've read. What's the use of reading? And you didn't get nothing from it. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. That's so impactful. And I can just add one. when you read a book, the first thing is the L. So I'll put LACT. What did I even learn from this book, from this passage? What can I apply? What can I change about myself? And what can I teach others? Because when you teach others, you retain it yourself, and you can even verbalize and conceptualize it in your mind. So the other thing that somebody asks is, how do you draw a vision board for yourself in a new year? I can answer this quickly. I've gone through many trainings where we do the yearly planning and goal setting. And one of the things that is very impactful, and you ask a very good question, is a vision board. How do I envision my goals? We have different views of life, your personal life, your career development or self-development like this that you're attending. The second thing is maybe your career, your family, your ministry, your health goals, your fun. So what you do is to put your goals together, then you create a board and put pictures of what you want to be. You can go on and do a clip art. You can go to a place whereby you want to go to Hawaii, for instance. Just cut the picture and put it on the vision board. So what it means is that you are looking at what you want to achieve. And someone say that the best thing to do is even to put it in quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. That's where you can say, in this first 4 months of the year or 3 months of the year, what do I want to achieve? Then you put it there. I want to earn X amount of money. You put the dollar signs there. I want to buy a new house. If it's your person, if that's your goal, or move from where I am, put it there. I want to start a new job. Put it there. So you can see, you can envision it, that every day you look at it, and then as you move towards that goal, you check it off, because you have to have action plans also towards that goal. So that's my 1 cent on how you can draw up a vision board. It's something you can see, pictures of your goal, where your dream is, what you want to do, and then you commit to those things. So I hope that was very helpful. The other thing is, Dr. Mike, can one say he or she is too busy to read daily? Okay, we've said that already. You can't say you're too busy. Commit to it. 1 page a day, 2 pages a day is not too much. By the end of the year, you'd have at least finished a book, if it is even 365 pages, but usually they are not. So please commit. Is commitment, discipline. Poco and Koku.
And the thing I want to say, Dr. Ayo, is, listen, there's something that James Clear taught about, 1% incremental growth. When I started this, Read Small, I have a book on my table called The Unstoppable You. I got it from the August International Maswell Conference. I didn't touch it. But when I started being intentional about this SOA, my wife really wanted the book. I said, you can't have it until I finish the book. Now, when I created this 4-book reading system with the SOA technique, I was able to finish the book. And all I was doing is a commitment of 1 page per day. Now, after I finished that book in that category, there's another book that's a protege of mine gave me as a gift called U Square by Dr. Pritchett Pierce. Dr. Price Pritchett. I took that book, I finished his Quantum Leaps. Now, in that category, because my 4 books, I always have a replacement. Before it finished, another one is waiting. Now, this is the 3rd one in that category by Eric Thomas, You Owe You. And with this one now, I'm on page 44, 42, using the same principle. Because many times people are looking for, they want something and kind of phenomenal. No, it is the small changes that leads to big changes. Like, this is my primary books right now in its own category. It's a biography of how Home Depot started. Guess what? I'm about to finish this book now. And one thing that helped me when I read book, one of the things I do is, whenever I'm reading a book, I partition the book. You see, when you partition the book, do you know what you're doing? I put things on every chapter. It gives you a thrill that, oh, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost there. Don't just read a book. You see, you need to have a technique. You need to have a system. I told you, system means save yourself time, energy, and money. So every time I'm reading a book, I put a partition in every chapter. So it helped me to have that incremental, fulfillment. Oh, well, I'm done with this chapter. He said, you don't have to wait till you finish with the whole. No, you need to celebrate it's like a mark that I make on each chapter. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Another person, Anonymous, said, well, I feel you've answered it, but I'll still say the question.
Yeah.
How do you break a cycle of procrastination, especially when you buy the book and you just can't read it? Many of us buy books and put it on the shelf, and then we feel bad that we have books on the shelf.
Yeah.
How can we break the cycle of
this is why I mentioned the 4 ways to unlock your infinite growth. The first thing I started is you need to put yourself in a growth environment. You see, that person that is talking, when you come for my training, you're already in a growth environment. Doctor, you remember the first time you came to my training, you said, this is the first time I've read a book since you left school, and you were really honest. And many people, they see, when you come for training, this is part of it, because in training, we do OMAR, 1 minute accountability report. So we hold you accountable to put into application, and the training has been designed for you to read a book before you come. So one of the ways to break that is get into a training environment, and you have 2 opportunities. One is an event, and one is the training, all 4 mega Saturdays in January. What a way to begin a new life. Go register right now. Yeah.
Please do. I agree. And I will say that I had not finished a book in years until I joined the master class. And I was able to finish the book because we have that drive, and you can see the results of what you are reading, how you're applying it. And like someone asked, how do I even act what I'm reading? This is a growth environment whereby you're able to apply what you're reading and they actually finish a book. And then that has also encouraged me to read other books because you don't stop there. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So Miss Mo Oshikalu said, the shark and tank analogy really helped hammer home the importance of the environment plays on your growth potential. However, I've come to the understanding that growth isn't always net positive. We lay with dogs, rise with fleas. What criteria do you use for vetting potential growth environments, and what questions allow you to reveal that information without overcommitting? Okay, this was posted to. Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Oshikalu. So apparently this was in the chat, and she brought it into the Q&A. So thank you for that. So the question is, what criteria do you use for vetting the potential growth environment, and what questions allow you to reveal that information without overcommitting?
Yeah. Okay. The thing about a growth environment is that it is not only contagious; it's infectious. And when you like those 10 things I share about 10 characteristics of a growth environment is, I mean, it rubs on you. But one thing about a growth environment is you don't get there by chance. Nobody finds himself in a growth environment by accident. For instance, you don't find yourself in this webinar by accident. Oh, I just left. I just woke up. I found myself here. No, you have to put yourself. It comes with intentionality. And that's why one of the things it's come with investment. A lot of people, this thing is too cost. They look at the price, they want to register. Listen, how long will you continue to shortchange yourself? You must be the first investor of your dream. You can encourage other people to invest your dream. If I told you, I just invested myself. I moved to an executive program. It cost me $2,700. I mean, I didn't play for it, but I knew I need this. And as soon as I get into that, believe me, Sally, my life began to change. And I have a lot of access to mentors, relationship, resources that I don't have before. So that's my solution to that. Put yourself intentionally, especially as we go. Listen, the year 2024 is a different year. I apart from leadership, I'm also a pastor. So I knew what God is telling me. It's a year of thrive. It's a year to thrive. And one thing about thrive is thrive requires your personal effort. You won't thrive by just doing nothing. You thrive by doing something. And today you've had a 4-step plan of what to do. Yeah, I wish everybody could sign up into this training. I mean, I've been so much more. I don't want to take so much time, but I know
Dr.
you'll be
Mike,
getting a lot of things from the training. Yeah.
yeah, can you put the link for that training in the chat?
Yes, the link is actually I'll shoot it again, and so
Please.
that people can
No,
can get.
if you can put the link directly in the
Yeah,
chat,
I'll put it in the chat.
so they can just click on it and
Yeah. So
register for those that are
yeah,
interested.
yeah,
While
the
you are
link.
doing that, the other
Yeah.
question is, how do you make a shift from being timid or comfortable to being confident about change? Um, while he's pasting things in the chat, I would say that many a times as we grow older, we are less confident of ourselves. We become timid, we become fearful, especially when we are fearful of failure. We are fearful of being laughed at. We are fearful of what's the next environment. What will it be? Some people are scared of leaving their current work to the next work. Some people are afraid of showing themselves for who they really are. And that in itself causes timidity because we don't want to leave our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And we are just coasting. Sometimes we make excuses and then we procrastinate. Procrastinating in itself, it doesn't mean that you are lazy. So let's differentiate the two. Some people are hardworking, but they procrastinate on certain things. And then they are timid in showing themselves forth. So the first thing is to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, comfortable with failure, comfortable with learning from experiences, comfortable with just starting. Just start and do something. And someone will say, well, just do it. Do it and start. Little by little, then you graduate and add to it. You learn, you relearn, you fall, then you go forward. So that's my thing. Just and most importantly, your network is your net worth. When you want to go into the next level, look at who are the people that are winners in that space, who have achieved where I want to be, and then connect with them. Connect with them. You are here, for instance, because you want to grow, you want to be a leader. And that's one of the good things that you could benefit from before the end of the year. Being able to put your foot out there, testing the waters, and not being afraid to move forward. So that is one of the things. And don't forget, our confidence is also in God, it's not on yourself. So just as it is, speak to who you are. It starts with your mindset. I can do it. I can do it. I can achieve the best in life. I can be the next executive, the next director. I can be the next entrepreneur. I can be the next author. I can be the best version of myself. So it starts with your mindset, connecting with the right people, and being determined and committed to go to the next level.
Yeah. There's a question I would like to answer here.
Yes, please.
Someone said, how do you make the shift from being timid or comfortable to being confident about change? And that was a great question. Now, let me deal with this. Now, like I said, we have three phases. We talk about being timid, being comfortable, and being confident. You see, we all have some things that we are timid about. We have some things we like to be comfortable about. Now, everything, the solution to this is accountability. Accountability. You see, when you have an accountability partner, for instance, when I want to make that shift of this change about reading, I make up my mind that there's a book called 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. I did a mastermind on that group. And I made a commitment to read the book within 15 days. So I told my wife at home to hold me accountable. Where I was working then, I told a co-worker to hold me accountable that I'm going to read 1 chapter per day. Listen, I've never done that before. So that was accountability. I've never done that before. And because of that accountability, I told myself, I'm not going to sleep until I finish, because I knew 2 people are holding me accountable. One I can't escape from at home. One I can't escape from at work. And it works. I finished the book within 15 days. So if you want to move from being timid to being comfortable to being confident, you need an accountability factor, an accountability person. You need to give, one thing about accountability, that what makes it work is you need to give people's permission to hold you accountable. Without giving, if I didn't give Dr. permission to hold me accountable, I cannot be accountable. So when you give people permission, that's when accountability work. And John Maxwell said he used to do this with a friend when he was starting up as a leader, that they used to meet together, that he will ask the friend to ask him 4 questions. And the 4th question is, did you lie about all the first 3 things that you said? That's the 4th question, number 4. So at times he will say, yes, I actually lied about number 2. Let me tell you the real answer, you know. So we need an accountability partner, and that's it. Yeah. Doctor, sorry, Miss Lita, did I answer your question? I know she answered a question. Yeah. Okay. I believe that really. Okay. Yeah. She said yes. Okay. Do we have any other question, Dr. Ayo? Oh, I'm loving this. This is really good.
That was the last question in the chat. Yeah, that was the last question in the chat.
Are you sure that we done all? I mean, I saw a lot of questions. Okay.
Yeah, we
Someone
seem
said,
to
how
have
can you break the
answered
question
them.
of procrastination? Well, okay, we've done that.
We've
Okay,
done
we've done that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great day. It's been a great time. And so we want to say thank you to you all. And I want to say thank you, Dr. Ayo, for your effective facilitation. So we want to just appreciate everyone. I mean, we're going to go one by one to appreciate everyone, all our guests, Abby, Pastor Rohn, then Akinwale David. We appreciate you so much. Principal Charlita Ziegler, we appreciate you. And then first, I want to appreciate MCQ, my charming queen. Then Elegant Initiative, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Esther Marie Manuela James, Coach Jean, we appreciate you. Dr. Joseph Kusoko, we appreciate you. Then someone called M.A., you know yourself, we appreciate you. Then also, and M. Oshikalu, we appreciate you. Dr. Olabisi Oshikalu, thank you for coming. Dr. Olabumi Fatugashi, I have 2 Dr. B's here now. Thank you for coming. And then I call her Gio. Grace Oyebola, thank you for coming. And also Shola Adekoya, thank you. And then ADNS Yetunde Ogundai, thank you all so much for coming. It's really great having you on board. Please, I want to encourage you to register. I already posted the link, register for the event, register for the, and my cell phone too. I'm going to put my cell phone in the chat. My cell phone is at least let me put it in a way it can go internationally. Is plus 184 1484 1484 466 1036. And so that's my cell phone. You can connect with me, and then so you can connect with we have a website on Lamb Global Community, lgcleadership.com. So that's another form in where you can connect with this community. Yeah, so you already got my cell phone, and many of you have this thing, by the way. So I'm putting my email address too. So please stay connected. You know, we need to help you. We're gonna be having more freebies in the year. This thing will be having a webinar like this. I'll be bringing strong leaders like Dr. Ayo. They are loaded. They will be sharing too. So it's gonna be a great one. Yeah, please make sure you register for the training. I want to see you next week. I want to see you in that training next week. Make sure you register and get ready for it. Because once you register, we're going to create a WhatsApp group so that where you're going to be. So we'll send you all the resources for the training. Listen, it's going to worth the investment. I want to encourage you to invest in your life. Don't treat 2024 like 2023. Please, that's it. If you want 2024 to be different, you need to do something different. I told you for 20 years, I couldn't write a book, but I came into 2024 because I clocked 50 3 months ago. And I said, I am going to be different this year. So it takes a radical choice. And this has been my best year ever. Like I said, I'm not 100% on my potential yet, you know, because I said I'm going to write 10 books. I've already written 5. But the good news is this: I'm not where I used to be. So I want to encourage you, please, don't just find a growth environment, stay right there and continue to grow yourself again and again. It's going to change your life and everything about you. So we want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much. and take advantage of all the things we've shared, all the things we've talked about, and know that all these things is within your reach. Is within your reach. It's not beyond you. It's just before you. It's just before you. Thank you so much. And for your information, we're gonna put today's webinar is gonna be on the YouTube, and everyone is gonna have access to it. You can share it with your friends, and the link for the registration will be put on the YouTube too, so you can share it with your friends. Yeah. So once again, we want to say thank you, Dr. Ayo. Thank you so much. And thank you, every one of you. Have a beautiful day. And we want to wish you Happy New Year in advance. Thank you. Bye-bye.